number 33. Should be a pretty nice race. My name is again Sparik, and this time I am joined by Kyrfel. Hello Kyrfel, how are you doing?
Hello, Sparrow. I'm doing great. This match is going to be promising, so I am definitely looking forward to seeing it. We've just zoomed in on the bracket here, as we can see, and these two seeds are just one place apart.
Yeah, not only that, their PBs are only 5 seconds apart, so we might be in for a very good race here. This race is also deja vu, just like last race. Greece and Grifs have been meeting before, but at that time, Greece's PB wasn't as close as it is now. These stats are a little outdated. Uh, Greece didn't get his current PB in a race, but it is a 33-35 at this moment, so only 5 seconds apart. And when we look at that graph, both of them have been performing pretty similar throughout this tournament. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty nice race.
Yep, that is right. And it might be worth noting that Grease has, well, he's had a bit more time to practice lately than Griffs has. Um, but he has also been messing around with his configuration a little bit. So he has said that now it says that he uses the controller, but for at least the grenade jump, he'll be using a hybrid sort of setup. So let's hope that nothing of that interferes and it just makes things better for him.
Yeah, most controller runners do a little bit of hybrid for these tricks that are easier on keyboard, things like grenade jump, probably some scrolly shooting here and there, though many controller runners and Greece as well are like 99% controller. So yeah, while Griffs of course is doing keyboard mouse as we can see here. And yeah, it looks like we're going to start here pretty soon. The race is about to start. Greece on the right, Griffs, excuse me, Greece on the left, Griffs on the right. And yeah, let's hope for no soft lock in the prologue. We've had that already once today. Looks good so far. We're in Glades now,
No,
Kyle. How do you feel about Glades?
Glades, my worst nightmare. I'm sure many will agree with me. Uh, but in a race, we would not be spending a lot of time in there, so I don't think we can really complain too much.
Yeah, Glades, it's not really hard per se. It's just those little, every little movement can cost you a little bit of time. Doesn't really matter when you like in having high times or something, but it matters when you're competing for world record, and in a race probably doesn't matter too much. But yeah, it's just bad memory for many runners because we have to reset very often here. Look at that happy mouse movement from Chris.
Yep, that is he's very excited that he got a 105 sign pickup.
Sure, he's telling us, oh. And also we can already see the little difference in the shot pacing that we've always been seeing when a controller runner has run against a KBM runner. Keyboard mouse mostly goes for scroll wheel shooting, so you can mash out the shots just a little bit faster. So Bruce had a little bit of a faster front fight there. It's not too big of a difference though, because of course the major time differences are going to happen later throughout the run.
Yeah, so Griff's only been he's less than a second. Oh, in fact, Grease has just taken the lead because of an animation from Griff's, unfortunately. But yeah, well, I mean, oh, there's another one. That's okay.
Ooh,
So
close. I think he wasn't too hurt there, so this wouldn't have killed him, but of course he wants to do the damage boost on the other slime here, so yeah, wasn't as
yep,
scary as I thought it was at first, but yeah, now he has his 1 health goes to, so it's pretty much tied again.
yep. Both runners going up to get extra health. Something we see like most everyone do.
Yeah, 4 health just loses like 4 seconds throughout the run going for this health, and both of these runners, I mean, at that times, at most of our times, in fact, it's not really worth taking this extra risk there. It's just not a good idea, especially in a race situation where you're so close to your opponent.
Yeah, and speaking of being close to the opponent, both of these runners are watching the stream, so they will know how far ahead they are or behind they are. GreeZ did say that. Yeah.
GreeZ got another animation, pickup animation. He just picks up everything in this glades here, and so he's a little bit behind now again, but still has a pretty nice wall jump time here. Just getting trolled a little bit by the Ori's RNG. But as we can see, he manages to up his best race time a little bit here at wall jump. Already giving us some happy mouse movement again.
GreeZ was pretty much on pace with his best race time as well, so that's a good start for both runners.
Yeah, also somewhat expected in wall jump if you don't take an unfortunate death. That's just the thing about glades. It's not too hard, but minor difference a little time. Minor difference like this, GreeZ leveling up on the way out. GreeZ actually chose to level up on the way in, so GreeZ got some more experience, which might set him up a little better for the coming froggy walk. We'll have to wait and see. GreeZ is probably going to have to just pick up one more slime.
Well, maybe. So GreeZ has taken a little bit of a lead now. Grifs did have a little bit of trouble climbing up the hanging rock, but you know it didn't take him too long to get up past it. So you know sometimes you get people sliding down that wall, and that didn't happen to Grifs, so not too bad.
Yeah, that Trojan log was not very nice to him, of course, but he was at the same time was a little gentle there. Didn't take him too much time, but we are pretty close. Once again, most of these early games are pretty close, and Blackwood Burrows coming up here is really the first area where we have been seeing some unfortunate death, which I don't wish any of these two runners, but we have to wait and see. Both of them opting for the op route once again, so no genocide in this race. Yeah, and GreeZ opts to take the safety save here. You can take a free safety save before the level up. After you take the experience orb, you will level up anyway. So GreeZ taking a safety save after he picked up the light orb.
Yeah,
just
and
playing
taking
that good save.
beforehand,
Good idea.
Is a little bit safer, but it does mean if you do die on the way back, you'll need to just cross that again. So
I just love the thing right now. It's awesome, especially in an area like Blackwood Burrows that's so cycle based. They will be staying in sync pretty much throughout the whole area as long as they. Oh, there, GreeZ has to wait for the laser. Just the reload though. And gets the cycle because of the reload. So makes up a little bit of the time he lost there. This is just one platform ahead of him.
Yep, he's half a cycle behind GreeZ at the moment.
Ooh, GreeZ on a pretty nice XP range here. Oh, and he seems to still be happy that he hasn't messed up yet. He has been having some unfortunate Blackwood Burrows throughout his race runs. That platform cycle also went very well for him. Oh, and GreeZ misses his time.
GreeZ.
Was just a little bit too short there.
That is going to put GreeZ ahead a little bit more now, just because that cycle will take 8 seconds to catch back up.
Yeah, GreeZ doesn't get fried by the laser here, which of course we wouldn't have hoped would happen, but just to mention, it didn't happen. It's nice to see GreeZ also didn't get roasted by the laser here. So yeah, Blackwood Burrows is done. It's a little bit safer now. Not too safe though until we've passed the death gauntlet.
Yeah, GreeZ succeeding with the somewhat safer cutscene skip. Well, GreeZ is doing the very same skip.
Yeah, neither of
Alright.
them opting for the cutscene stack here. Reasonable decision in a race situation. It can lose you very much time while it's only saving like 2 seconds if you get the cutscene stack. So, yeah, it's a good idea not to do it.
Coming out of BRB now, we have a few sort of a couple of tricks coming up, but I don't know about you, but leaving BRB always feels like a bit of a relief. Since you picked up dash, you can start to go fast. No having to wait on cycles.
Yeah, also this Blackwood Burrows as a speedrunner, it's this area wall jump to Blackwood Burrows. It's just like most of the time not worth it carrying through if you're going for a PB attempt. Like if you're already 20 seconds behind in the early game, it's not really worth. So I guess that's the reason why most of us don't really like these areas too much. But of course, both of these runners got a pretty nice Blackwood Burrows, and Grifs is already through his death gauntlet. Should make his safety save here pretty soon. Yeah, now he's pretty much through the most painful areas at the start of this run.
Oh, so MrGreeZ take a little bit of a save there just before clearing these brambles. He got an energy drop from a slime, which is a little less useful than an energy drop from the Frunky, but you know, make use of that save when you got it. Grifs didn't get the grotto cycle.
Yeah, he didn't. This could potentially be a little bit of an opportunity for MrGreeZ to catch up here. 0% success rate so far, doesn't get the grotto cycle. That's a pretty hard trick.
That's not going to put him any further behind, so, you know, not a problem. I don't think he actually attempted to do that.
Yeah, the trick saves about 8 seconds. And throughout the tournament, many people have attempted it and didn't get it. It can be a pretty hard trick. So, yeah.
You can see Grifs is on, well, he's a fair bit ahead of his best race time. So, you know, this early game has gone really well for him.
Yeah, he's already onto the wall. Pretty nice blind movement.
In fact, not only is he ahead of his best race time, he's ahead of his PB.
Wow, 4 seconds.
Yeah.
5. I'm sorry, 5 seconds. Yeah, it's going pretty well. I guess he was a little nervous because these races first try grotto skip.
Yeah,
Why am I even talking here?
Improves the success rate of 16% a bit, so you know that's good to see. MrGreeZ is actually about to come up on the grotto skip himself, so you know, if he can get that first try, then that would also be really good. Wouldn't put him further behind. He's had really good success rate so far.
Oh, doesn't get it second try, doesn't get it third try. And he's into the loop where it just gets harder with every try, but this looked like a 4th try grotto skip. And he actually executed his tries pretty fast, though. He didn't really lose too much time there on this. Though of course he would have loved to get this first try, because Grifs is on one hell of a pace right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's alright.
Go ahead.
Oh, we've just seen Grifs do his water vein cutscene skips, and he's heading back up.
Yeah, that we did. I was going to mention that MrGreeZ is watching his opponent. I know that, and so MrGreeZ probably knows that MrGreeZ has quite a lead over him at this point. They were in a 19-second delta at the double jump tree, and the delta has been probably extended a little bit by MrGreeZ because of his first try grotto skip. So, yeah.
Yeah, and well, 19 seconds or however much it is now, that's still within the range of, say, one single death a little later in the game, so I don't think he'd be too concerned. But if Grifs keeps playing like he is, then, you know, just gaining little bits of time over MrGreeZ as the race goes on, then, well, might have some trouble catching up, but, you know, we'll just have to wait and see.
MrGreeZ has been feeling pretty confident about his early game for this race, and I mean he does have a pretty good early game, but Grifs has an even better early game. I mean, look at that. His current best MrGreeZ time was a 13:41, and he's about 12:40 now. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's a really good pace.
that's
12:40.
a minute.
Our trackers tell us that Grifs just golded his MrGreeZ by about 4.5 seconds here. So yeah, just proving that he's on a really good pace in this early game.
Well, let's GreeZ is you know, he's still pretty close to Grifs at this point. He's entering the insert tree right now, so he's only like a room and a half behind.
He's not too far behind, but of course Grifs is on a roll right now. I mean, his movement has been so clean. But yeah, Grease also getting his early Grimer cycle. And yeah, still should be about the same lead, somewhat about 20 seconds here.
Should mention too that GreeZ is, you know, apart from maybe that growth cycle, he's playing really solidly himself, and Grifs is you know, not like gaining. Well, he's slightly gaining, but it's pretty slowly.
One thing where he, I'm sorry.
One
Finish your thought. Oh, you did. All right, then I finished my thought. That might have been a 5 cycle here by Grifs. Should be getting confirmation pretty soon. I was going to say that in this mini boss could be a potential time save here for Grease. Yeah, but trackers just tell us Grifs got a very fast 5 cycle there. So, holy, I mean, what is this early game by Grifs?
He's doing. He said that if he falls behind too far, he might start doing silly stuff, but he is certainly not behind.
Yeah, he's
so
certainly not doing silly stuff.
Then, sorry to say, but Grifs is just doing too well. And like, you know, we see he agrees. He's really close. Like, just needs to go in and get Bash, and then they're tied again. So, well, they're not tied, but you know, they're together again. So.
Yeah, this. I mean, it is expected that this was will be a pretty close race, but I was a little bit worried about Grifs because he wasn't really too fortunate with his last races. But this race, oh man, he's really putting on a great show so far. Oh,
he missed really yeah, he tried to go for a bash up to the top platform so he could do the key troop save from up there. Optimally a little bit faster, but the bottom platform still works and it's back up.
Yeah, the problems that he's had with the setup actually got Grease to catch up pretty big here. He should be probably a 5 seconds difference or something now. Oh, misses that keystone there, so... And Grease gets his key loop.
It was the good key. The better sort of key dupe miss where you don't die and you can just try again immediately. So it's okay. It did mean that Grease has caught up just a little bit more times, so now they're both on the same path of this keystone room.
Grease is going for the hyper speed here and he gets it. Very nice hyper speed.
I want to say they're hardly 5 or 6 seconds apart now.
Yeah, Grease though didn't get his hyperspeed there. It looked like he was trying to go for that hyperspeed. Has a little bit of trouble getting up here. Grease also did with his first jump. So yeah, about, let's say, 1 teleport animation apart here. So that's about 8 seconds, I think. Pretty close. Pretty solid.
Yeah, I wonder if Griff knows like the sort of pace he was on, and that's like, you know, he's gotten some nerves from that.
Yeah, maybe some nerves, but he definitely knows. I mean, his mouse movement is suggesting that he's pretty happy so far with his run.
We saw him opt not to skip this cutscene.
And just seeing that success rate on swamp entry here for Grifs, 100%. I mean, I've been telling he was pretty unfortunate throughout his runs, but man, looking pretty solid.
That is certainly consistency.
Yeah, Grease's success rate on Swamp Entry is only on about 25%. So yeah, Grease manages to get a Swamp Entry first try here, so Grease really has to get the Swamp Entry within a decent amount of tries.
Yeah, and largely perhaps because Grease is playing on controller, we see a difference in the strategy used to break into Swamp. They're both, well, they're roughly as fast as each other.
Yeah, just about 1 or 2 seconds. And since Grease also got his Swamp Entry first try, not too big of a difference here. Wow. I mean, nice pace by Chris. Oh,
That stomp on
that.
Yeah, when the platform starts swinging that, yeah, it can get a little dicey, but Grease handled it just fine. Ooh. Oh, Griff fell in the water.
This is sinking them up a little here.
It's almost tied again.
Wow. Taking it a little bit safer on these platforms this time. And making a safety save right after. Oh, Reese having a little bit of trouble getting up there. Was thinking about leveling an ability there, maybe? I don't know. Quickly popped up his ability menu.
Griff's trying to rekindle. Yeah, Griff's having no trouble getting that ability cell. Ooh, yeah, no, don't touch that laser. That will hurt. Okay, he's
Wow, what are Griff's success rates on these tricks here? 100% Kuro cutscene skip again.
Grease has picked up that ability cell and
nice, keeps it up.
So time for Grease to get the Kuro cutscene skip. He kind of needs to get this if he wants to like stay on with them.
And he gets it. Very nice.
He's picking up his 5th health right now as well.
Yeah, which Grease is not. So he just took the lead there. But yeah, of course he's going to have a very scary Sorrow Pass section.
Yeah, it is a sort of pseudo lead as well because Grease will need to pick up another health cell later that Griffs won't have to.
Yeah, that of course depends on how much HP they want to take on this swim here.
Well, Griffs is going for 6, and if Grease only goes for 5, then you know, he will have that time save over not having to pick up that cell. You know, not everyone goes for 5. And...
Wow, look at this thing now. I mean, Grease has been behind pretty big, and he's been catching up pretty nice.
It was unfortunate that the Frankie didn't follow him down into Charge Flame so that he could use it to bash back out, and he had to go around the long way, using up an energy or a half energy.
He manages to get this nice dash glide over the cutscene though, so both of them not having to slow walk too much here. Oh, missing the stomp door. Now he's through. Yeah, this part is where the run gets pretty scary because many things can kill you in 1 or 2 hits, and there are some very trolly birds, some very trolly frogs. See how our runners will do.
Yeah, and despite being a little bit behind at Charge Flame and then having to go around, Griffs has caught up quite well to Grease. They're back to being only a couple seconds apart. Taking a safety save, always not a bad idea.
Oh, see the bird trolling him a little bit there. That's the trolling bird. And well, what is this? 100% success rate on last stop is. I mean, Griffs, you're a god.
Grease didn't like that first shot, so he's going for another one, which has put them like synced up again. Those same time.
Hopefully both of them get the shot. Oh, Grease gets a nice. Whoa, look at that. It's synced. The cutscene is synced.
I don't think I've seen this cutscene so well synced before.
No, me neither.
Yeah, so Grifs did make it up to the cell before GreeZ because he took a damage boost strategy. But since all it depends on is when the shot connects with the Brox, you see them perfectly synced. I think I know what happened. Someone duplicated the stream. Okay,
Well,
so Grifs went back up to the Spirit Well to save, and he might have decided to do that because of that missing energy from a few extra safety saves.
yeah, I think he was
He
on
doesn't
2
always
energy
do
or
that.
something, so he would have not had much energy for this solo blast. Which GreeZ gets first try. Very nice.
Yeah.
Grifs also first try. I mean, both of these runners are executing these tricks pretty well. First try Swamp Entry, first try Solo Bash, first try Key Dupe, first try Fast Stompless. I mean, was there anything they didn't get? Probably Grotto Skip, but not too big of a difference.
Yeah, apart from that, and that's the thing that only takes you like 1 second every time you miss it, and it's
He doesn't have an energy for the Ghost Door here, which Grifs has.
no, he doesn't. He used
No,
a
he
charge dash to get
Oh,
up to the door and didn't cancel it in time, and so has had to wait.
unfortunate.
But it does mean they'll be on the same tree at the same time.
Both of them on a
Once
very
again.
nice pace for them.
Yeah, that's
considering.
Griff's is still a minute ahead of his best race time.
Yeah, GreeZ also took a little unfortunate death here. But it's back and forth. I mean, now GreeZ is in the lead again, with us as both of them are setting up for the Terror Break here. And since neither of them saved at the Ghost Door, they still have a save up here, so they could just open the ability menu right there, go for the Terror Break.
Yeah, Griff's having to jump into the spikes twice because of his 5 health is oh no. So since GreeZ died to the laser, he'll have to perform the Terror Break again. Thankfully the save is still up there. Okay, so while it's exciting to see the races on a good pace for themselves on their best race time, really this is an elimination match. So the loser of this match will be eliminated from the tournament. So it's really just up to who wins.
Yeah, it is, but so far neither of them can really play it too safe because they're neck to neck. So even though only winning matters here, they still kind of have to treat it as a PB attempt. As far as both of them keep being on such a nice pace.
So Grifs has taken the lead again.
Ooh.
Oh, taking a spike hit.
Yeah, the 5 HP coming in handy there.
Yeah, it does nullify the advantage that having extra health does in Misty, at least until he can save again or pick up some health. But that is better than going back up to Sunstone.
It certainly is. Yeah, GreeZ also saving at the start of Misty here. GreeZ is only down to 2 energy here. That's a little less energy than he would like to have.
Oh, now 1 energy because the slime died. So GreeZ got a better rocket jump up, so he's gaining some more time on Grifs here.
Yeah, that Misty movement. You really don't want to lose energy on Misty, but sometimes it's just you just randomly drop energy to unfortunate positioning or something.
Grifs stopped to get some extra energy since he was low, but GreeZ didn't need to stop for that.
Yeah, he did. Also, getting word that both of them are, I mean, their PPs are pretty close, so if one of them is a certain amount ahead of behind of their PP, the other one will be certainly as well. And yeah, our sharks told us that it's about 10 to 15 seconds for both of them here. So they're pretty much close to their PP and high 26. What's that? Climb certainly speaks for a very nice pace here. 33 pace, that is. Oh, Chris dropping the frog.
That has let GreeZ take the lead.
Yeah, GreeZ caught his rocket jump. Chris having a little bit of trouble because with every jump, these flowers, I don't know, they change their position and takes the unfortunate death here. Didn't really get the flowers set up the way he wanted. So that put Grease a little bit ahead. Since Grease is watching, that might ease his nerves a little bit. We have to see. Grease didn't get his frog up there again. Oh! Oh no! Ooh, he's... No!
Oh no.
Grifs! That's so unfortunate.
Since GreeZ was watching the stream, he would have known that, you know, they were really close up to Sunstone, at least from the, well, it would have been the end of Ginso. And now knowing that he's, you know, gaining quite some time in Misty, that, yeah, that's got to be good for the nerves.
Yeah, for Grease though, it certainly isn't. He was on a very good pace and yeah, Misty happened.
That is really unfortunate.
Let's see, doesn't get a very quick mini-boss kill, but a quick mini-boss kill still, so yeah. He's managing to keep that lead up. We have to wait and see what Grifs can do here. He has to do pretty clean movement, also opts to save here. We saved before, after the 4th keystone as well.
Yeah, there's still some opportunity for Grifs to catch up a little bit. For example, GreeZ had a little bit of a tough time getting up to the Misty mini boss, so that could save some time. And you know, Grifs gets it just fine. So that's okay. And
Dashing around all over the place, but that's
the mini bosses from neither on were like, you know, the perfect quick kill. So it doesn't really matter there.
Quick kill nonetheless. So GreeZ, of course, still on his 4 HP here. Got hit by the slime there. So has to be a little bit careful on his spikes.
Here's the Yoko cycle.
Okay, he's through. Sometimes you can bonk into the spikes there before actually reaching the bird, and that would have been really unfortunate for GreeZ. Didn't happen though, so he's approaching Grenade right now as Grifs is making his revisit to Blackwood Burrows.
Yeah.
Look at that pace for GreeZ.
Grifs is starting to run out of time to catch up, really. GreeZ has just been, you know, putting on a pretty solid performance. So Grifs is going to probably have to sort of hope that GreeZ has a lot of trouble, maybe with Door Warp or Grenade Jump.
He does. The delta between these two runners was about 45 seconds at the Misty mini boss. Oh, and he doesn't see the laser now.
Oh, no.
Grifs!
Oh, he was really close to making it out of there as well.
Yeah, he was so close. I think he could have gotten that, but for some reason his dash was short, or he jumped a little too early. It was really unfortunate. And GreeZ making a perfect exit of Grenade there.
Yeah, Grifs has succeeded the cutscene skip, which is, well, essential. It's we've seen that cutscene a few times this tournament. Glad to see that we're not going to do that again today.
Yeah, seeing that cutscene once certainly is enough. GreeZ doesn't take his 6 health here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Grifs
probably showing.
Grenade jumps. Oh, he keeps up.
Having a little bit of trouble here getting up.
Oh, meanwhile, GreeZ is going to go for it. Oh, he succeeded the grenade jump, but then he hit the wall. Well, luckily you can just do another one.
Yeah, they luckily don't cost too much energy. And GreeZ is also out. Grifs is out of his grenade now. Fairly safe. Just does not have to die to this boulder here. Takes the upper route.
Yeah.
And GreeZ is onto Door Warp.
I'm thinking, GreeZ going with the 5 health. Maybe he doesn't know that, you know, he was ahead as much as he was. He got the Door Warp a 3rd try, which is, you know, a pretty good number of times for Door Warp. You don't want to really try it more than that. First try is always nice, of course.
Yeah, it certainly is. Door Warp can potentially ruin your race time, so yeah. Still waiting for the day when I lose a great pace to it I will be very sad. Oh, and Grease having trouble with his elemental here and actually dying to it. It's pretty unfortunate.
Grease took a death when he escaped.
Yeah, I said Grease when I meant Gris there actually. These G names so confusing. But
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty similar. I've had to try and make sure not to mess that up.
whoa, stop
whoa,
it!
that
That
was-
nice save by that actually looked somewhat intended by the way that he managed to adapt to the situation there.
Yeah, well, I mean, he could be practicing that one, and it's okay. Like, if he's going 5 health in the final escape, he's pretty confident
Oh no, Gris
to do it. Oh no.
took a death to the balancing there. He's got his swim, and yeah, he has been watching
Yeah,
his
he
opponent.
knows. He knows. Yeah.
Ops to close
Alright.
out this race here. GG Grease.
Yeah.
Pretty solid time by him. Please. There we go. Right. That black screen was a little bit too long for my liking there, but he's fine. So we get to focus a little bit more on Grifs now. His way to entering Horu was a little unfortunate. Now he's opting for this grenade jump here.
And Glyph will have, since he was watching the stream, he'll know that he's lost now. Even though it hasn't come up as an official finish on SRL yet. So we could see some silly things. He said he might. Well, we're getting
Silly
law.
things
So
like
that's
not
something.
turning off your UI. What is this? Or silly things like getting draw mob first try. I mean,
That is a pretty silly thing.
Yep.
Second try. Yeah. Dorp's always kindest to the people that don't need it to be.
yeah, draw mob is it is really weird. But yeah, Grease finishing out his race at this point, and it is actually a 34-34. Pretty nice number. Griffs is coming into his final escape now. Maybe get a little bit of a cleaner escape than Grease. We'll have to wait and see. Or doing silly stuff.
Standing there for a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's doing the setup for the grenade bash here.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of silly stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think that worked. Yeah, there's a bash through a Kuro trigger, and you can sort of skip spawning Kuro and then do a grenade jump. So if he gets it, okay, I don't think that would have got it. Let's see what he's doing. I'm not sure what he's doing. I'm not sure if he's practiced this. Waiting for the grenade to hit the ground. I don't know that's how you do it, but honestly, I've never done it myself, so who am I to talk?
He was trying to grenade jump through to this where he is now. Fortunately, didn't get it. So just opts to do it the normal way now.
Oh, he's only got half an energy left for grenade jumpers as well. I wonder what he's going to do.
He is on 6 health here, so should be able to still make the swim, though the fish were pretty weird.
Good thing he was on that as well.
Oh, he spawns Kuro. Get right, get it. No!
Oh,
So close.
he nearly made it into a little safe spot on the right, but not quite.
But we can go for bash grenades again.
Ah well.
Well, he has
He must
really
have decided
got
he
his
dropped
energy
enough
pretty
energy on
quickly
it.
there, yeah.
He burned a couple on charge dashes at the start of this game.
It's again on half an energy now. Will not spawn Kuro this time, I'm pretty sure. Might actually be in for 5 health for me. Yeah, 5 health.
Only taking 4 damage,
Or
that's
42
worth it.
4 health damage. And let's see if he goes for grenade jump here. Now that we somehow
Sort of looks
know
like he's
how
going
to
to.
not to soft lock here, it's not as dangerous as it was before. So yeah, he's lining up. Let's hope he gets it here. Doesn't get it.
Okay, he's just walking in.
Okay, so Griffs also made it through. Had a little bit more spaghetti there at the end than he probably hoped for. But he's He's through now. And I mean, up until, what was it, the Misty Death? This has been pretty close race once again, just as expected.
Yeah, they start to separate pretty late in the game. Really, really exciting race.
Yeah. Both of
So
these
that
runners.
means, yes, this does mean that GreeZ will be staying in the tournament. He's still in the lower bracket. He'll be going up. Well, I don't think his opponent has actually been decided yet, so I can't really say.
Yeah, we will be seeing the bracket here pretty shortly, I'm sure. So then we can do our math and pay attention to the bracket so we don't give misinformation. But yeah, Chris is approaching his time now. And once he finishes, I think we are going to get both of them in for an interview here. Waits a little.
Oh, there we go.
And hops in.
To get 38, 39.
38, 39. And another pretty nice number. I mean,
Yeah,
probably not the time he hoped for, but the number certainly is nice.
I mean, I think we all know that if Grifs hadn't done some of the silly things at the end, he would have got, fairly better than that. So, that's not representative of his, regular times. Yeah. I believe we're getting both runners in for an interview. Let's go.
And there we go. GreeZ and Grifs. GG to both of you. GG for the victory, GreeZ. It was a pretty close race. You both have been performing pretty well. Sadly, some spaghetti for Grifs there in the end. But yeah,
I guess. I don't know why the game didn't decide like not let me charge jump, and afterwards like use feather. So yeah, thanks game.
As always, thanks game. But yeah, GreeZ, you did win this race, as we can see here on the bracket. You're either going to have to face Monkly next or Kayafel. So.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, okay, that's me.
Kayafel just realizing what opponent he has next.
Oh no.
But yeah, GreeZ, just wondering. I mean, how did you feel about this race? Did it go as intended, or probably not what you hoped for? It was a pretty solid time, but yeah, how did you feel about this race? Yeah, GreeZ, you're muted.
Sorry. Yeah, I was pretty mad at the beginning because I managed to fail the save anywheres with the bind, so I lost like 5 seconds on each saved anywhere in BRB. So I was a bit mad at myself. Otherwise, the whole race, I mean, maybe until climb was pretty close. Then I saw that I didn't really see what happened, but I saw that I had a lead for like a minute when I was finishing Misty mini boss. So I just say, okay, let's do this. Let's rush. Let's say it's a PB attempt. Let's go 5 HP. Let's go everything fast I can. And then I saw that Grifs. My cue is like, if my opponent isn't starting the escape as I try to G-jump, I just don't go for it, because I know that I have the time to skip it and still win. So that's the only thing I change between a race setup and my PB attempts. Otherwise, I just went as fast as I can.
Yeah, opting to not do that final grenade jump certainly is a reasonable decision if you know that you can win the race. But yeah, that 5 HP swim. You could have also gone for the 6 health there, but
Yeah, I
Fairly
didn't
easy
really
to
know. I just said okay. Lately, I
Pretty
was
confident.
I was confident in my 5 HP swim, so I just went for it.
Yeah, because
Alright.
we were wondering if you knew if you still had the stream open at that point since you skipped the cell, but then skipping that grenade jump, yeah, that's one you knew for sure.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah, I couldn't close it. I wanted to know.
All right, I'm wanting to direct another question here at Grifs. Grifs, we have been noticing throughout especially throughout your early game, you've had a lot of mouse movement there. That was probably
Oh,
happy mouse movement, right? I
yeah.
mean, it
It
I
was
don't know
like
if you
pretty
noticed
good.
by now, but you golded your Enter Ginzo, for example. Was pretty
Yeah.
pretty sick early game by you.
Yeah, because I saw I had sub 50 dash, so that's pretty good for me. Even with the jump after I enter Ginza. Still getting like sub 50 was pretty nice.
Yeah, so while we are on the matter of your sick early game, another question to Greece there. You have been watching Grifs and you were feeling pretty confident in your early game. And how did it feel to see that Grifs got this very nice early game and actually beat you in the early game by a fair amount?
Yeah, I don't know. I knew that my mid game and my end game was a bit shaky. So as soon as I saw Grifs do getting, I don't know, 720 dash and sub 13 Hunter Ginza, I was like, okay, this first one won't be easy. So I just I just I just try to not choke and still play some saves. I knew that I could still in Ginzo catch up a bit, so I just played a bit safe here maybe, since I was I don't know 25 seconds behind the whole time.
Right. KFL, is there a burning question that you still want to ask?
Yeah, there is this one question that I have somehow come to be with. So, Grease, do you reckon you're going to be playing safer or less safe moving forwards? Since you're likely going to be going up against Monkley, and if you win that, Hydra or Richard, and those are some really skilled runners. I mean, not to say that Grifs isn't, Grifs is for sure, but
Grifs is the best.
you know what I mean.
I'll probably do my best. I know that Monkley and Richard are really consistent runner. Their PB are 1 minute, almost 1 minute behind their sum of best. So I know that if I don't pull off a great race, I won't be able to beat them. Even a bad race from them will be just a lose. But also, I could also face Carafel, so I don't know. Maybe my plan will change.
You might still get your chance to kick Hydra out of this bracket. Grease.
Yeah, the reverse sweep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so thank you both for joining again. Pretty good race, GG to both of you. Grifs is sadly out of this tournament now, but Grease can take the G to the victory.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the next race is going to be, let me quickly look it up, Slotus versus This Is Not Sally, or Sally, as most of us say. And again, this race is probably going to be pretty good. I mean, we know Sally. He has been improving quite a lot. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of a performance these runners are going to give us. And yeah, until then, KFL, it's been a pleasure commentating with you.
Likewise, Barrack.
And we're going to see you again some other time. Stay tuned. Bye bye, everyone.